Please state your name for the. Did you fill out a card?
Yes, sir. I filled out a red card. I had a red card for 1:30, I believe, or I know.
Okay.
So my name is Sipo Mengoyisi Nkosi Monti. Don't call lice. I was born here legally. So my whole point today is I think that these bills are really concerning because it's more than just these maps. These maps reflect the continuous effort taken by government officials to disenfranchise minority votes. And I will take it back all the way to 1865, but I don't have to go that far. I can take you back to 2013. Following the 2013 court hearing, Shelby County versus Holder, which struck down the Voting Rights Act's pre-clearance formula. If y'all don't know what pre-clearance is, pre-clearance was pretty much made it to where any states that had a history of segregation or racism had to have their laws that pertain to Voting Rights Acts pass through the Justice Department first. We got rid of that, and literal hours after that was removed, we had states like Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana start to disenfranchise their black voters. These include strict voter ID laws like SB 13 in Texas that had been previously blocked by a federal court for being discriminatory against African Americans and Latinos. We have rapid purges of voter roll closures of poll locations and limitations on early voting, which disproportionately affect African Americans. And that's from the Brennan Center for Justice. So let's dive into that a little more. Let's look at polling place closures. Following the decision, many southern jurisdictions, including but not limited to Louisiana, Texas, and Alabama, reduced early voting opportunities and closed 1,200 poll locations, particularly in black communities, significantly decreasing African American turnout. State increased efforts to purge voter registration lists, and practice often resulted in the removal of eligible minority voters. Conservative state legislators claim that these laws were enacted to combat voter fraud when there are several comprehensive studies, including a comprehensive study in 2014 published in the Washington Post, which found 31 instances of impersonation fraud from 2000 to 2014 out of over 1 billion ballots cast. So the reasons that we're being disfranchised are not real. Like, I'm sorry, the data does not support the history of disenfranchisement of black voters. Or I'm sorry, the history does not support that voter fraud is the reason that these laws came out. This was done to disenfranchise minority voters. And if you disagree, I am sorry, but the statistics and the data tell me that you are either uninformed or you are willfully ignorant. Just like in 2013, when states like Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, and Mississippi took advantage of Shelby County versus Holder, members of the Louisiana legislature today are taking advantage of an egregious Supreme Court decision in Louisiana versus Callis to gerrymander black districts out of existence and consolidate the Republican Party control over what is quite frankly going to be American apartheid. And I'm South African. I know about apartheid. Even though the evidence is clear, politicians like Governor Jeff Landry are telling us that we're race baiting them on these issues, that we're trying to make race the predominant issue instead of what's clearly in front of us. This rhetoric is nothing new. This is just like the rhetoric from former anti-Reconstruction and anti-civil rights politicians who claimed radical reformists were waving the bloody shirt and terrorizing the South when they were simply advocating for equal rights for former slaves. This is called, and I wish Jeff Landry was in the room, this is called red baiting. That's exactly what that is. If you support redrawing of any maps that would split apart black districts and cripple the minority vote in Louisiana for whatever reason, be it under whatever guise you want it to be, you are falling into the same category as politicians like Andrew Johnson, our 17th president. He actively opposed radical Reconstruction, vetoed the Freeman's Bureau Bill, and the Civil Rights Act of 1866. He sought to restore the South without protecting the rights of black people and allowing the implementation of black codes. Hiroshima Seymour, former governor of New York and the 1868 Democratic presidential candidate. He led opposition to the 14th and 15th Amendment, like we're currently seeing in our administration, and was a strong advocate of the white man's campaign, or the white man's government campaign. Horacio Greeley, bad on me to mess up a name, but though formerly an abolitionist, by 1872, he led the liberal Republican movement. He opposed the corruption in the Grant administration and advocated for the removal of federal troops from the South, saying best men or former white Southern slave owners and leaders should be restored to power. And what was their motto? This is the white man's country, let the white man rule. It's crazy how sometimes the only Democrat that Republicans will agree with are the racist Democrats from the 1800s. And I just want to simply say, crazy to me that we think that literal centuries of literal human bondage was reversed in 63 years after the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, when these practices were taking place for hundreds of years in the Americas before America and thousands of years in Europe and other places, reinforcing this culture before they even came over here. And we think this is going to be undone in 63 years. We think that it's not important to protect black votes anymore. And that is, I'm rambling at this point, but literally, you are our representatives, and your job is to interpret the will of the people. I really feel like I have sat in here and seen that the people have expressed their will to you. So I'm really feeling like if y'all go vote later and anything other than 407 being reported favorably and these other 3 bills getting tossed or at least majorly getting redone, you are not representing us. You are not our officials. And I feel like you've never paid attention this whole time, dog. I'm talking to you, Reese. Like, I'm sorry.
You're not going to address... No. You're not going to address him. Okay.
I apologize, but I feel like there's a lot of members that have not been making eye contact with anyone here, and I have taken that personally.
Well, you haven't acknowledged me, and I've been in contact with almost everybody.
And you know what? I do apologize. I did come up here very fired up. So I apologize, Mr. Chairman, but I really do feel like we're not being paid attention to enough. So, but that's all I had to say. I feel like that was very comprehensive, and these maps are a reflection of the racist steps government officials have been taking to disenfranchise black votes for years. And I can take it back to as recently as 2013 or 2026 because we're sitting here having this conversation.
Thank you for your testimony.
That's all I had to say.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Mike Moscow. I'm a policy associate with the Southern Poverty